Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today's Friday, March 18th, 2022. Big show today. Rapid fire, college basketball, all aspects of it. NBA, NHL, MLS, golf, NASCAR, news and notes, and best bet. We're going to start the round of 64 for the men's from yesterday. Oh my goodness, that's all I got to say. Crazy day. South region, 11 seed Michigan over 6 seed Colorado State, 75-63. Midwest region, first round, 4 seed Providence over 13 seed South Dakota State, 66-57. West region, first round, 9 seed Memphis over 8 seed Boise State, 64-53. East region, first round, 1 seed Baylor over 16 seed Norfolk State, 85-49. South region, 3 seed Tennessee over 14 seed Longwood, 88-56. Midwest region, 12 seed Richmond over number 5 seed Iowa, 67-63. West region, 1 seed Gonzaga over 16 seed Georgia State, 93-72. East region, 18 North Carolina over 9 seed Marquette, 95-63. West region, 12 seed New Mexico State over 5 seed UConn, 70-63. East region, here we go. 15 seed St. Peter's over 2 seed Kentucky, 85-79 in overtime. Hearing a lot of people say this was the biggest upset in the history of the tournament. I'd say there's a couple nominees for this. Lehigh over Duke. Mercer over Duke. Middle Tennessee over Michigan State. UMBC over Virginia. And now St. Peter's over Kentucky. Those are a handful of good upsets in the history of the tournament. It's very debatable, for sure. To me, it depends on what the biggest point spread was, and that's how you determine what was the biggest upset. But this is certainly huge. This is certainly the biggest one since UMBC over Virginia for me. East region, 5 seed St. Mary's over 12 seed Indiana, 82-53. Midwest region, 9 seed Creighton over 8 seed San Diego State, 72-69 in overtime. West region, 4 seed Arkansas over 13 seed Vermont, 75-71. East region, 4 seed UCLA over 13 seed Akron, 57-53. East region, 7 seed Murray State over 10 seed San Francisco, 92-87 in overtime. And 1 seed Kansas over 16 seed Texas Southern, 83-56. Now we look ahead to today's games. At 12:15 on CBS, 10 seed Loyola Chicago, 7 seed Ohio State in the South region. I project Ohio State by 1 1/4, total 138 and 9/10. I had Loyola Chicago in my bracket, and obviously now pretty much every bracket is broken. This is a pick 'em with a slight lean towards Ohio or Loyola, it looks like. And the total of 132 over. 12:40 on True TV, Jacksonville State, Auburn, you're 15-2 in the Midwest region. Projection, Auburn 12.5, total 141 and 13/20, and it's 15.5 and 137.5. I'm going to go with the over. West region, 14 seed Montana State and 3 seed Texas Tech, 145 on TNT. Projection, Texas Tech by 4.5, total 138 in the 10th, and it's 15.5 and 132.5. I like Montana State getting all the points. That is way too many points. East region, 14 seed Yale, 3 seed Purdue, 2 o'clock TBS. Projection, Purdue 13.5, total 145 in the 10th. And a 17 and 144.5. I'm going to take Yale getting all the points. 2:45 on CBS, South region, 15 seed Delaware and 2 seed Villanova. Projection, Villanova by 14 1/4, total 139 and 3/5. And it's 15.5 and 133.5. Over. 3:10 True TV, Midwest region, 10 seed Miami and 7 seed USC. Projection, USC 8.5, total 142 and 3/20. And it's 2.5 and 139.5. I'm going to lay the 2.5 at USC. 4:15 TNT, 11 seed Notre Dame, 6 seed Alabama, West region projection. Bama by 1, total 148.25, and it's 4 and 153. Under. East region 4:30 TBS. 11 seed Virginia Tech, 6 seed Texas. Projection Texas 3.5, total 130 and 9/10. And it's 1 and 123. Over. 6:50 TNT, South region. 13 seed Chattanooga, 4 seed Illinois. Projection Illinois by 5 3/4, total 141 and 3/20. And it's 8.5 and 135.5. I like the over. West region, 15 seed Cal State Fullerton and 2 seed Duke. Projection Duke by 24 1/4, total 141 1/10, and it is 18.5 and 145.5. I'm going to lay the 18.5 with Duke. Midwest region, 11 seed Iowa State and 6 seed LSU. 720 TBS. Projection LSU 10.5, total 133 and 1/20. And it's 4 and 128.5. I'm going to lay the 4 at LSU. 727 True TV. South region, 16 seed Wright State, 1 seed Arizona. Projection Zona by 17 3/4, total 149 and 17/20. And it's 21.5 and 156.5. Under. South region, 12 seed UAB and 5 seed Houston, 9:20 on TNT. Projection Houston by 8, total 140 and 17/20. And it is 8.5 and 136. Over. West region, 10 seed Davidson and 7 seed Michigan State. 9:40 on CBS. Projection Michigan State by 3/4, total 140 and 9/20. And it's Michigan State by 1, total 140.5. Oh, slight the Davidson. That was my closest projection yet. 9:50 TBS. 14 seed Colgate, 3 seed Wisconsin. Projection Wisconsin by 9, total 140 and 1/10. 7.5 and 139.5. Slight Wisconsin. And last but not least, 9:57 on True TV, 9 seed TCU and 8 seed Seton Hall. My projection, Seton Hall by 8, total 135.5. And it is Hall by a half, total 129. I'm going to lay the half. It looks like a pick 'em, but I'm going to lay the half point with Seton Hall. All right, second round. We have the Saturday games lined up. 12:10 on CBS. 18 North Carolina, 1 seed Baylor. Baylor's a 5.5 point favorite, and I had it 4. I would take the points of Carolina. 2:15 or 2:45 on CBS. Midwest second round. 9 seed Creighton, 1 seed Kansas. Kansas is a 10-point favorite. If I did a line, which I didn't do for this game, I would have this 12.5 for Kansas. So I'd lay the points at Kansas. 5:15 CBS South Region second round, 11 seed Michigan, 3 seed Tennessee. I would make this 8, and it's 6. I'll lay the 6 with Tennessee. 6:10 TNT Midwest second round, 12 seed Richmond and 4 seed Providence. I would make this Providence by a 0.5 point, and it's 3. I'll take Richmond getting 3. 7-10 TBS East Region, 5 seed St. Mary's, and 4 seed UCLA. My projection's UCLA by 4.25, and it's UCLA 2.5. I'll lay the slight points with UCLA. 7:45 CBS East Region, 15 seed St. Peter's, and 7 seed Murray State. Oh my goodness gracious. Murray State 12.5, and it's 8. I'll lay the 8 with Murray State. 8:40 TNT West Region, 12 seed New Mexico State, and 4 seed Arkansas. Arkansas 4.5, and it's 6.5. I'll take New Mexico State in the points. And 9:40 on TBS West Region, second round, 9 seed Memphis, and 1 seed Gonzaga. My projections in Gonzaga 10.75, and it's 10.5. Oh, slight leans to Gonzaga. We don't know the Sunday schedule yet, but that's okay. We'll move on to the women's round of 64 next. But before that, we will recap the first 4 games from the women's side from yesterday. 16 seeds, Bridgeport Region, Longwood over Mount St. Mary, 74-70. And Spokane Region, 11 seeds, Missouri State over Florida State, 61-50. Now we look ahead to today. 11:30 ESPN 2. Greensboro Region, 9 seed South Florida, 8 seed Miami. My projection is South Florida by 4.25. And it is 1.5. I'm going to lay to 1.5 with South Florida. 1:30 ESPN 2, Wichita Region, 10 seed South Dakota, 7 seed Ole Miss. Projection Ole Miss by 7. And it's 2.5. I'm laying the points with Ole Miss. Greensboro Region, 1:30 ESPN News, 10 seed Creighton, 7 seed Colorado. Projecting Colorado by 1/4. And it's 2.5. I'll take Creighton in the points. 2 o'clock ESPN, Greensboro Region, 16 seed Howard, 1 seed South Carolina. Projection South Carolina by a whopping 21. 43.5. I'm taking Howard in the points. That is beyond the way too high. 2:30 ESPNU. Spokane Region, 12 seed Florida Gulf Coast, and 5 seed Virginia Tech. Projection Virginia Tech by 1.25. And it's 6.5 and 137.5. Give me Florida Gulf Coast getting the points. But Tavatek the win. 3:30 ESPN News, 9 seed Gonzaga, 8 seed Nebraska. Projection Nebraska 5.5. And it's 1.5. I laid a 1.5 with Nebraska. 4 o'clock ESPN 2, Wichita Region, 15 seed Hawaii, 2 seed Baylor. Projection Baylor by 16.25. And it's 28.5. I'm taking Hawaii in the points. Greensboro Region, 15 seed Illinois State, 2 seed Iowa. 4 o'clock on ESPN. Projection Iowa by 19. And it's 21.5. Give me Illinois State. 5 o'clock ESPNU. Spokane Region, 13 seed Delaware, 4 seed Maryland. Projection Maryland by 10.5. And 17.5. Give me Delaware in the points. 5:30 ESPN News, Spokane Region, 10 seed Arkansas, 7 seed Utah. Projection Utah by 2. And it's 1.5 and 152.5. I'll go under. Wichita Region, 6 o'clock ESPN 2, 16 seed Albany, 1 seed Louisville. Projection Louisville by 19. And it's 34.5. Give me Albany in the points. Spokane Region, ESPNU 7:30. 9 seed Georgia Tech, 8 seed Kansas. Projection Georgia Tech by 3/4, and it's 3.5. Give me Kansas in the points. ESPN News, Greensboro Region, 11 seed Dayton, 6 seed Georgia. Projection Dayton by 2. And it's Georgia by 3.5. Give me Dayton plus 3.5 and plus 140 outright. 8 o'clock ESPN 2. 15 seed Fairfield, 2 seed Texas, Spokane region. Projection, Texas 10.75. And for some reason, this game's not posted on here, but that's okay. But Texas is probably a huge favorite. Spokane region, 1 seed Stanford, 16th seed Montana State. Projection, by 9 o'clock ESPN2. Projection, Stanford 19.75 and is 3.5. I'll take Montana State plus the points. And on ESPNU at 10 o'clock, Greensboro region, 14 seed Texas Arlington, and 3 seed Iowa State. Projection, Iowa State by 15. Give me UT Arlington. Alrighty. Saturday first, we're going to do rapid fire fashion here. 11:30 ESPN2, Kansas State, Washington State, 8-9 in the Bridgeton region. Projection, Wazoo 4.5. And it's Kansas State 3.5. Give me Wazoo plus 3.5 and plus 138 outright. Bridgeton region, 15 Mercer, 2 seed UConn. Projection, UConn 17.25. I don't see a line here for that one. UConn's probably humongous favorites. Wichita region, 11 seed Villanova, 6 seed BYU. Projection, Villanova by 6.75, and it's BYU 11.5. Give me Villanova plus 6.5 and plus 580 outright. Bridgeton region, 14 seed Charlotte, 3 seed Indiana. Projection, Indiana by 5. And 16.5, give me Charlotte. Bridgeton region, you have Longwood and NC State. My projection is NC State by 21.75, and it's 40.5. Give me Longwood and the points. Spokane region, 6 seed Ohio State and 11 seed Missouri State. My projection here is Ohio State by 8.25. And I don't see a lineup for that game yet. Wichita region, 14 seed American, 3 seed Michigan. My projections, Michigan by 12. And it's 25.5. Give me American. Bridgeton region, 10 seed Florida, 7 seed UCF. Projection, UCF by 3.75. And it's 6.5. Give me Florida. Bridgeton region, 11 seed Princeton, 6 seed Kentucky. My projection is Kentucky too. I don't have a line yet. 14 seed Jackson State, 3 seed LSU. Projection, LSU by 16.5. This is Spokane, and it is 12.5. I'm laying the points at LSU. Wichita region, 12 seed Belmont, 5 seed Oregon. Projection, Oregon by 7.25. It's 10.5. Give me Belmont. 12 seed Stephen F. Austin, 5 seed North Carolina in the Greensboro region. Projection, North Carolina by 12. And it's 11.5. Total's 129.5. I'll go over. Bridgeton region, 12 seed UMass, 5 seed Notre Dame. Projection, Notre Dame 2.5. And 7.5. Give me UMass. 13 seed Greensboro region, UNLV, and 14 seed Arizona. Projection, Arizona 7.5. And it's 12.5. Give me UNLV in the points. And then, last but not least, 13 seed IUPUI, 4 seed Illinois, Bridgeton region. Projection, Oklahoma by 8.5, and it's 7.5. Total's 150.5. I'll go under. All right, now I'll look at the NIT games for the weekend. Interesting slate for sure. Not many, though. It's only a few. It's the 8. So only 3 games on Saturday. 12 o'clock ESPN, Oregon A&M. My projections, Oregon 2.25. And it's Texas A&M 4.5. Give me Oregon plus the 4.5 and plus 184 outright. 4 o'clock, you have VCU Wake projection. I have a pick, and it's Wake 5.5. Give you VCU plus 5.5, and I think they went outright plus 195. And 16 Northern Iowa, 2 seed BYU at 9 o'clock projection. BYU by 16.25. And it's 5.5. I'll lay the points at BYU. And then Sunday, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock on ESPN, Florida Xavier, Your 3-2 projection, Xavier by 6. And it's 3.5. I'll lay the points with Xavier. 4 seed Washington State and 1 seed SMU projection, SMU by 8 3/4. And it's 2.5. I'll lay the points at SMU. 1 seed Dayton, 4 seed Vanderbilt. 3 o'clock ESPN2 projection, Vandy as a 5-point home underdog, and they're 2.5-point home favorites. Give me Dayton plus 2.5 and plus 114 outright. 6 seed Virginia, 2 seed North Texas. 6 o'clock projection is a pick. And it's North Texas 2.5. Give me Virginia plus the 2.5. And last but not least, 8 o'clock ESPN USA, Bonaventure, Oklahoma. Projection Bonaventure 5.5. And it's Oklahoma 6.5. Give me Bonaventure plus the 6.5 and plus 240 to win that game outright. All right, CBI. We'll look at the CBI games for the weekend. All right, first round, 16 seed Purdue, Fort Wayne, 1 seed Drake. Projection is Drake 13. We don't have those games out yet. 13 seed UNC Asheville, 4 seed Steve F. Austin. Projection Steve F. Austin 5.5. 15 seed Cal Baptist, 2 seed Middle Tennessee. Projection Middle's by 4. 14 seed Rice, 3 seed Ohio. Projection Ohio 11.5. And then on Sunday, 9 seed UNC Wilmington, 8 seed VMI. Projection UNC Wilmington by 4. 12 seed Northern Colorado, 5 seed FAU. Projection Northern Colorado by 2. 10 seed BU, 7 seed UNC Greensboro. Projection BU by 4.5. And 11 seed Troy and 6 seed Abilene Christian. My projection there is Abilene Christian by 11.25. All right, now we'll finally move on to the NBA. We're going to be very quick here with the picks, recapping last night's games and looking ahead to a monster slate tonight and then obviously the rest of the weekend. So one game last night, Pistons over Magic, 134-120. And now tonight I did not do totals. So 7 o'clock, Mavs Sixers. My projection is Sixers by 3 3/4. And it is 3 219. I'll go over. 7:30 Wizards Knicks. My projection is Knicks by 1 3/4. And it's 5. Give me the Wizards getting the 5 against the Knicks. I actually like the Wiz to potentially win that one outright with Porzingis. Lakers Raptors projection. Raptors 11 and it's 8.5. I like the points with Toronto. NBA TV Grizz Hawks. My projection is Grizz by 4 3/4 and it's 6 237.5. I'll go over. Trailblazers Nets. My projection is Brooklyn by 18.5 and it is 14.5. I'll lay the 14.5 with the Brooklyn Nets. Nuggets Cavaliers projection. Nuggets by 3/4 and it's 2.5 and 221.5. I'll go under on the total. 8 o'clock Thunder Heat projection. Heat by 21 3/4 and it's 15.5. I'll lay the points. Pacers Rockets projection. Rockets by 2 3/4 and it's Pacers by 3 total 239.5. Give me the Rockets plus 3 and plus 130 outright. 8:30 Pelicans Spurs projection. Spurs by 6 3/4 and it's 3 237. I'll lay the 3 with the Spurs. 9 o'clock Clippers Jazz projection. The Jazz by 8 1/4 and it's 6 215.5. I'll lay the 6 with Utah. Celtics Kings at 10. My projection is Celtics by 4 3/4 and it's 9.5 and 224.5. Give me the Kings plus 9. I love the Kings. And then last but not least, NBA TV Bulls Suns. My projection is the Suns by 5 3/4 and it's 5.5 and 230. Despite the injuries, I'll go over on that game. Saturday, 5 o'clock Bucks Timberwolves. 7 o'clock NBA TV Mavs Hornets. 8 o'clock Pistons Cavs and Lakers Wizards. Sunday, 3:30 Trailblazers Pacers, Grizzlies Rockets. 6 o'clock Pelicans Hawks, Thunder Magic, Suns Kings. 7:30 Jazz Knicks. 8 o'clock Celtics Nuggets. 8:30 Raptors 76ers and the Spurs and the Warriors. All right, now we'll move on to the NHL. We'll recap the games from last night and look ahead to a busy weekend in hockey. Isles over the Rangers 2-1. Leafs over the Hurricanes 3-2. Stars over the Habs 4-3 in OT. Flyers over the Preds 5-4. Caps over the Blue Jackets 7-2. Pens over the Blues 3-2 in a shootout. Oilers over the Sabres 6-1. Red Wings over the Canucks 1-0. Kings over the Sharks 3-0. And the Golden Knights over the Panthers 5-3. That was a big win for Vegas, by the way. And then tonight, 6 games. 7 o'clock, you have the Flyers and Ottawa. Sens are minus 137, Flyers plus 114, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 220, Sens minus 1.5 is plus 176. I'm going to go with the over in that game. Over in Philly in the same game would be fun. NHL Network, Caps, Canes. Canes minus 162, Caps plus 134, over under 6, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Capitals plus 1.5 is minus 184, Hurricanes minus 1.5 is plus 148. Give me Hurricanes minus 105. 8 o'clock, Bruins, Jets. Bruins minus 125, Jets plus 102, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 198, Jets plus 1.5 is minus 250. Give me the over in that game. 9 o'clock, Sabres, Flames. Flames minus 400, Sabres plus 310, over under 6.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Sabres plus 1.5 is plus 114. Flames minus 1.5 is minus 140. Let's go over in that one too. 10 o'clock, Panthers, Ducks. Panthers minus 220, Ducks plus 180, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 110, Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 134, over 6.5 at even money. And last but not least, 10:30, Avs, Sharks. Avs minus 295, Sharks plus 230, over under 6.5, overs minus 106, unders minus 115. Avs minus 1.5 is even money. Sharks plus 1.5 is even, or minus 110 each way for plus minus 1.5 on the puck line. I'm going to go take the Sharks on the puck line to keep this game competitive. Saturday, 2 o'clock, Stars, Islanders, NHL Network, Blackhawks, Wild. 3 o'clock, Devils, Oilers. 4 o'clock, Kings, Golden Knights. 5 o'clock, Blues, Blue Jackets. Penguins, Coyotes. 7 o'clock, Sens, Canadians. Leafs, Preds. 8 o'clock, ABC, Rangers, Lightning. That's a great game in Tampa. Great game. If I had to bet that one, Tampa in regulation or Tampa puck line would be good. I think that's just going to be a ruckus cloud in Tampa. It'd be huge if the Rangers got that one. 10 o'clock, Flames, Canucks, and Red Wings, Kraken. And then Sunday, 2 o'clock, TNT, Islanders, Flyers. 5 o'clock, Stars, Capitals. 6 o'clock, Rangers, Hurricanes. 7 o'clock, Jets, Blackhawks, Coyotes, Sharks. And 10 o'clock, the Sabres and the Canucks. All right, Major League Baseball spring training. We'll go over those games that were played yesterday and look ahead to today's and the weekend's spring games. We're just not going to go through stats because of time. Yesterday, spring training started. Red Sox over the Twins, 14-1. White Sox over the Cubs, 4-3-7 in the split squad. And then White Sox over the Cubs, 5-2 in the split squad in 7. And the Rocks over the Diamondbacks, 5-3. All right, today, 1 o'clock, Twins, Braves, Blue Jays, Orioles, Rays, Red Sox, Phillies, Tigers, Yankees, Pirates, Astros, Cardinals. 4 o'clock, Reds, Guardians, Brewers, Dodgers, Angels, A's, Royals, Rangers, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Mariners, Padres. 6 o'clock, Marlins, Nationals, and 10 o'clock, the Cubs and the Giants. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Yankees, Orioles, Astros, Marlins, Red Sox, Twins, Blue Jays, Phillies, Tigers, Pirates, Braves, Rays. 4 o'clock, Padres, Cubs, Guardians, White Sox, Brewers, Rangers, Giants, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Angels, Dodgers, Mariners. 6 o'clock, Mets, Nats, and A's, Reds at 9. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Phillies, Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Nats, Astros, Rays, Twins, Tigers, Yankees, Pirates, Blue Jays, Cards, Mets. 4 o'clock, Giants, Reds, Cubs, Dodgers, Guardians, A's, White Sox, Rockies, Padres, Brewers, Angels, Mariners. And 6 o'clock, you have the Diamondbacks and the Royals. Major League Soccer slate for the weekend. If we had more time, I would have certainly done gambling picks. We'll do gambling picks next time we do Major League Soccer with a couple of weekends into the sport. So 1 o'clock Saturday, Cincinnati hosts Miami, NYCFC hosts Philly. 3 o'clock, Toronto hosts DC United. 3:30, LA Galaxy hosts Orlando. 4 o'clock, Atlanta Club Football Montreal. 6 o'clock, Chicago, Kansas City. 7 o'clock, Charlotte, New England. 8 o'clock, Minnesota, San Jose. 8:30, Dallas, Portland, Houston, Colorado. And 9:30, Salt Lake, Nashville. And Sunday, 2 o'clock, Columbus at the Red Bull. Seattle at Austin at 4:30. And 10 o'clock, Vancouver at LAFC. All right, now we're going to look at the leaderboard for the Valspar Championship. Interesting to say the least so far. Tied for first at 8 under, Scott Stallings and Adam Hadwin. Tied for third with 7 under, Jonathan Vegas, Justin Thomas, and Sam Burns, and David Lipsky. Tied for 7th with 6 under, Danny Lee, Gary Woodland, and Davis Riley. Tied for 10th with 5 under, Kramer Hickok, Doc Redmond, Xander Schauffele, Richie Wierenski, and Webb Simpson. Now we're just going to go through notables because of time. Tied for 15th with 4 under, Matthew Neesmith, Bryce Garnett, Dustin Johnson, Stuart St. Louis Hilton, Brooks Koepka, Matt Kuchar, Ches Reavie, Matt Fitzpatrick, J.J. Spud, Kevin Stroman, Torrey Merritt, Tommy Fleetwood, Brian Harmon. Cam Triangle is in a tie for 32nd with 3 under with Bubba Watson, Colin Marikwa, Lucas Donald, Alex Noren, Brock Stewart, Wyndham Clark, Pat Perez, Joel Dahlman, Nate Taylor, Tyrell Hatton. Tied for 50th with 2 under, Dylan McCarthy, Sam Ryder, Joaquin Herman, Victor Hovland, Patton Gazier, Tyler Duncan, JT Potson, Aaron Weiss, Henrik Norlander, Mito Pereira, Shane Lowry, Lucas Hodges, Matt Wallace, Joseph Bromlett. Tied for 69th with 1 under, Jason Day, Abraham Anser, Brendan Todd, Keegan Bradley, Christian Ziedenhout, Mike Thompson, Adam Long, Kevin Kisner, Brandon Hagee, Henry Higgs, Cam Thompson. Tied for 89th at even, Jason Kokrak, Roger Sloan, Brendan Grace, Chengson Pond, Mackenzie Hughes, Adam Fitzpatrick, James Hahn, Carlos Ortiz, Russell Knox, Taylor Moore, Matthias Schwab. Tied for 109th with 1 over, Lucas Griffin, Adam Schenk, Vincent Whaley, Harold Varner III, Vincent Taylor, Emiliano Grillo. Tied for 119th with 2 over, Zach Johnson. Tied for 128th with 3 over, Adam Putnam. Tied for 135th with 5 over, Cam Piercy, Francesco Molinari, Brandon Gay is in a tie for 42nd with 6 over with Charlie Hoffman. And that's it among notables. All right, now move on to NASCAR for the weekend, as they'll be racing from Atlanta. The trucks are tomorrow at 2:30. Xfinity's at 5, so that's back-to-back, so that's fun. And Sunday is Cup. All right, so we'll start with the trucks. The odds are brought to you by DraftKings, as they always are. I'm just going to pick a winner because we don't really have time to go number by number. So to win the 48208, let's go with Ross Chastain at 10-1. All right, Xfinity. The Nally Cars 250. Let's go with Ty Gibbs at 10-1. I like Ty Gibbs in double-digit odds. And then the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. This is a tough one. I like Martin Truex Jr. at 16-1 a lot to win. Oh, this is the there's a race on Saturday and Sunday. Oh no, they just messed up. It's Sunday, not Saturday. So let's go with Martin Truex Jr. at 16-1 to win the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 on Sunday afternoon. All right, very quick news and notes, and I mean very, 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 very quick. So the Panthers look like the favorites to trade for Philadelphia's Claude Giroux. I think that would be a really, really good fit. Padres eyeing the Yankees' first baseman Luke Voit. That would be interesting to see if the Yankees can get a good starting pitcher back for Luke Voit. The Ghost Runner likely back for 2022, which I do not like. And then football. So the Rams signed Allen Robinson, which is amazing. 3 years, $46.5 million deal. That was a surprise signing. And now the Rams are very likely to trade Robert Woods coming off the torn ACL. But the biggest story in the NFL yesterday is that the Packers traded Davante Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 2022 first and a 2022 second. I think that is not enough for a package for Green Bay. I think Green Bay should have gotten a potentially 2 firsts or maybe a first and 2 seconds. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Packers do to replace Adams. That is just, I guess, that he just didn't want to be with the Packers anymore. And then he agreed to a 5-year, $141 and a quarter contract extension with the Raiders. So the AFC West, I saw someone tweeted yesterday, is the SEC of football now. They have 4 playoff caliber teams in that division now, and one of them is going to be disappointing. Don't know if it's going to be the Raiders. Don't know if it's going to be Denver with Russ, the Chiefs and Mahomes, or the Chargers who went all in as well. And then apparently Davante wanted out of there, and Rodgers signed that extension with Green Bay knowing that Davante Adams was never going to play another game for the Packers. That's wild. And now the Rams are trying to bring back Odell after signing A-Rob, so that's interesting. So the Eagles, despite cutting Fletcher Cox, they're trying to just a restructured 1-year, $14 million contract for him. The Seahawks are looking at Baker Mayfield after Baker Mayfield requested a trade from the Browns. Bengals re-signed Eli Apple 1 year, $4 million. Panthers are out of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, and it's down to 2 NFC South teams, and the Falcons and the Saints. I think it's going to be the Saints. Jameis Winston spoke to the Colts and the Saints. We'll see if he goes back to New Orleans. So we saw another player back out of a contract. So Darius Smith will not be re-signing with the Ravens. So that's weird. And the Giants released Logan Ryan after 2 seasons. So we'll see how they replace him at the safety position. NBA news, Stephen Curry sprained a ligament in his foot 2 nights ago against the Celtics. And there's optimism that Curry could return for the start of the postseason. And he's expected to see specialists. So let's hope he's back for the postseason. That really stinks for Golden State, who had a tremendous first half, injury-riddled second half. But Curry, I think, is the most important player to his team in the entire NBA this year. So we'll see. John Collins out indefinitely with a plantar fascia tear in his right foot and damage to right ring finger. Then TJ Warren to sit out the rest of the season with a stress fracture and has made full recovery, but will prepare for next season rather than return now. And back to hockey for a second, that a few teams continue to dig a steep asking price for Hampus Lindholm. There's always wiggle room, but the current task is a first, a third, and a top prospect. Likely some spinoff from the Ben Sherratt trade to Florida. And that is from Darren Drager. Non-sports news, Andrew Cuomo says that Eric Adams understands the reality of crime problem. So I think that Cuomo is right in some ways and wrong in some ways. But we'll see if he's really telling the truth. And Moderna asks the FDA to approve a fourth dose of COVID shot for all adults and not just seniors like Pfizer's request. So we'll see how that goes. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I'm going to go with another tournament game. I won yesterday with the Richmond getting the double digits. I should have took them outright as well, but didn't have the guts to pull the trigger. So I'm going to take Montana State getting the points against Texas Tech. Everybody loves Texas Tech. They're like a darling. But I think Montana State can keep this game close. I'm taking Montana State plus 15.5 against Texas Tech. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend. American Idol as well. And we will look ahead to everything for on Monday as well. So hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, everyone.